At 17 minutes past midnight, the doorbell erupted, a harsh buzz that yanked Kotaro from a restless sleep and into a nightmare he didn't know had already begun.
Who could it be at this hour? A neighbor with an emergency, or something worse.
He peered through the peephole. Tactical gear, a woman's stern face. His hand trembled as he unlocked the door.
I am protecting you. My name is Maya. An anonymous client paid for your safety. I need to come inside.
This is insane. Protecting me from what? I am an accountant. I've done nothing.
The threat is real. The client provided evidence. I can't disclose more. Let me in before they realize I'm here.
Kotaro's throat tightened. Outside, past the window, a figure stirred, a shadow that didn't belong. The silhouette of a man, hooded, pressed against the fire escape, watching his window with an unnerving stillness.
He's been out there. How long? This isn't a joke. Someone wants me dead.
And so, at the stroke of midnight, the quiet accountant stepped into a world of danger, with a stranger, his only shield. Terror propelled Kotaro's hand. He seized Maya's sleeve, yanked her inside, and slammed the deadbolt shut.
You just show up armed, say I am in danger, and I am supposed to trust you. Show me some ID, a license, anything.
Without a word, Maya produced a laminated badge from her vest, a private security license with her name, photo, and registration number.
I am calling the police to confirm. If you are lying, you are going to jail.
Kotaro dialed emergency services, his voice unsteady as he read off the license number and her name. The dispatcher's reply sent a chill down his spine. The license was authentic, no warrants, no flags. She was exactly who she claimed to be.
All right, you can stay, but I don't understand. Who would pay to protect someone like me?
The client's identity is confidential. My job is to keep you alive. Let me secure the premises.
Maya moved through the apartment with practiced efficiency, checking locks, sealing windows, and drawing curtains against the night and the watcher beyond. Kotaro lay awake on his own couch, listening to the woman who had become his shadow, knowing the world outside was still hunting him. Morning came too soon. Kotaro emerged from a sleepless stupor to find Maya already alert, scanning the apartment.
I have to go to work. I can't just hide in here. Are you coming with me?
Outside, Kotaro's nerves screamed they were being watched, but Maya walked beside him, silent and sharp. Kotaro spotted a taxi and started toward it. Maya's gaze hardened. Something was wrong. As Kotaro reached for the handle, Maya's hand clamped around his wrist, yanking him back with iron grip.
What are you doing? It's just a taxi.
Look, the lock mechanism has been cut. Someone wanted that door to open at the wrong moment.
A thin wire was threaded through the latch. Pulling the handle would have swung the door open into oncoming traffic.
They almost got me, right in front of everyone. This is real. This is very real.
No taxis. We walk. Stay close.
The towering glass office building swallowed them through its revolving doors. Kotaro felt watched from 100 unseen eyes.
Even here, in my own workplace, I feel exposed. Is that just paranoia? Or actually someone from inside?
At his floor, the corridor stretched. A figure in a dark hoodie stood near the water cooler, too still to be an employee. Maya moved before Kotaro could speak, stepping in front of him. The stalker flinched and bolted down the emergency stairs.
He was here for you. Stay in your cubicle. I'll secure the floor.
Kotaro sank into his desk chair, sweat beading on his forehead. A cardboard cup of coffee stood on his desk with a note, "Good luck today." He reached for it, absently, but something was off, a faint smell, a crystalline residue around the lid. Maya's hand appeared, snatching the cup before it touched his lips. She sniffed once and hurled it into the trash.
Bitter almond. Cyanide. Don't eat or drink anything you didn't open yourself.
Cyanide. In my coffee. That stalker. Someone in this office wants me dead. Every face is a suspect.
By Friday, Kotaro's nerves were shredded. He cornered Maya in the living room, his voice cracking.
A week of this. Poison, stalkers, and you won't tell me who's behind it. I deserve to know.
The contract forbids disclosure. My duty is to your physical safety, not your curiosity.
Not my curiosity. My life. She's treating me like a package to be delivered.
Maya's expression didn't shift. Her crimson eyes held his with infuriating calm.
If I told you, you'd be in more danger. The client's anonymity is the shield.
So I am supposed to sit here, wait to be murdered, and never ask why. That's insane.
Kotaro grabbed a lamp and hurled it against the wall. Maya didn't flinch.
She's a robot, a paid machine, and I am trapped in a cage of someone else's making.
The silence that followed was heavier than any threat. He knew nothing, and she would never bend. The second week began in a fog of exhaustion. Kotaro moved through days as if underwater, every sound a threat.
Sleep is a memory. Food tastes like ash. I've forgotten what safety feels like.
The doorbell rang. No one ever visited. Maya retrieved a box wrapped in brown paper, no label, no return address. Her scanner swept across the surface. Beeps flickered in warning, but not for explosives.
No chemical trace, but it's a message. Open it if you want. It won't be pleasant.
Inside, a dead rat, stiff and cold. A note wrapped around its leg in jagged letters. You can't hide forever. 2 days later, on a rare walk outside, a car veered off the road. Maya pulled Kotaro back as it smashed into a lamppost. The driver vanished. The brake line had been cut cleanly. Another silent death threat.
They're not just trying to kill me. They're hunting me, breaking me slowly. How much longer can I survive?
By the end of the second week, Kotaro was a shell. Hope had unraveled to a single thread, and Maya was its only anchor. Desperation finally forced Kotaro to his laptop. If they refused to tell him, he would dig up the truth himself. He searched old photos, looking for anything amiss, faces he couldn't place, scenes his memory refused to hold.
That company dinner. The man at the end of the table. Why does his face twist my gut?
A cloud drive held a forgotten folder. Project Gemini, confidential, locked with a password he had never set.
I don't remember this project, but my digital fingerprint is everywhere. What happened 2 years ago?
Maya stood in the doorway, watching him excavate digital ghosts with an expression carved from stone.
Is this what you are hiding? A job I can't remember. Tell me.
I've told you all I can. Dig further and you'll destroy the one protection you still have.
She knows everything. Protecting not just my life, but a truth that could destroy who I thought I was.
The cursor blinked over the encrypted file, its secrets mocking him. Answers one click away, yet forever unreachable. Kotaro slammed the laptop shut, the echo of its click swallowed by the dense silence that had grown between them.
My boss, the man in that photo, the one from the company dinner. Is he the one behind this?
Speculation is dangerous. I won't confirm or deny any name.
I am already a walking target. Give me something, anything.
If I name anyone, you'll act on it. That's exactly what they want. You are safer in the dark.
Kotaro's fists clenched until his knuckles whitened. Her calm was a wall he couldn't breach.
She knows every face behind this and guards it like a secret that protects me, or shackles me.
Maya's silence was a fortress, and he was outside, pounding on the gates.
Then don't talk, just tell me. Is it the man I work for every day? Just nod or shake your head.
She didn't. And in that refusal, Kotaro felt the first cold tendril of distrust coil around his chest.
That's it. I've had enough. Pack your gear and get out of my apartment. I'm done.
His voice cracked with exhaustion and fury, but her expression remained as unyielding as stone.
You can't fire me. The contract is between me and the client, not you.
Then show me this contract right now. I never signed anything.
Maya produced a tablet from her vest, displaying a digital document with a clause highlighted in red. Clause 4. The client agrees that the protection period is irrevocable and cannot be cancelled by any party.
Irrevocable. I am not the client, but someone has locked me into this cage without a key.
I will remain until the contract expires at midnight on day 30. No exceptions.
Trapped. I have no control over my own life. Every string is pulled by someone else.
And so, Kotaro glimpsed the scale of the design. A prison built with his own safety as the bars. That night, Kotaro's exhausted mind finally gave way to a sleep as dark and heavy as the secrets that stalked him in his nightmare. Rain-slicked streets blurred into a dim alley. A muffled shout, then a crimson splash across wet concrete. A man crumpled, a silenced gunshot. Kotaro tried to scream, but his voice was a ghost's, and the scene dissolved into shattered glass.
No, that wasn't just a nightmare. It clung to me like a memory. But whose?
The door burst open. Maya stood in the frame, weapon half drawn, her eyes scanning for a threat that wasn't there.
You were screaming. What did you see?
I don't know. An alley, blood, a body. It felt like my memory, but I can't hold on to it.
Maya's face flickered, for just a heartbeat, with something raw. Recognition, maybe. Then the mask returned. Outside, the streetlights flickered. Somewhere, a digital calendar rolled over. Day 27. The final hourglass had tipped. A deafening crash shattered the silence. Glass exploded inward as a shadowy figure vaulted through the window, landing with lethal grace. Kotaro froze, back pressed to the wall, as Maya threw herself into the breach, weapon rising to meet the threat. The assailant's silenced pistol tracked Kotaro. A guttural voice rasped from behind the mask.
Stay still. Accountant. This won't take long.
Maya didn't hesitate. She fired a warning shot that splintered the floorboards and forced the intruder to dive. Then she was on him. A flurry of precise blows disarmed him, the pistol clattering across the room. A knee to the spine pinned him. Zip ties cinched around his wrists, Maya's breathing hard, but controlled. Outside, sirens climbed. Red and blue light pulsed through the shattered window, painting the chaos in strobes. Kotaro remained crumpled against the wall, staring at the broken glass and the captured killer, trembling. The apartment was a war zone, and in the flashing lights, Kotaro realized the rules had just changed forever. Uniformed officers flooded the room, securing the suspect with professional efficiency. The assailant didn't resist. He just knelt, watching Kotaro with hollow satisfaction. As they dragged him upright, the corner of his mouth twisted. A grin meant only for Kotaro. A promise that this wasn't over.
Who sent you? Tell me. I have a right to know.
The man said nothing. The smirk lingered in the space he left behind, more terrifying than any confession. Maya hadn't escaped unscathed. A shallow gash ran along her forearm, darkening her sleeve. She tore a strip of cloth without a wince.
You knew this would happen. You've known everything from the start. Why won't you give me a single name?
My job is to keep you breathing, not to feed your desperation. The police will handle the interrogation.
She's a vault. And that smirk. It said, I am still in the crosshairs. They won't stop.
One by one, the officers departed, leaving the shattered living room in a hollow silence. Only the two of them remained, and in the cold sweep of the night wind through the broken glass, Kotaro understood. The real enemy wasn't the one they'd caught. Morning crept through the boarded-up window, streaking light across the shattered living room. Kotaro moved like a ghost among the ruins. As he righted the coffee table, a crumpled magazine slid aside, and a photograph slipped out. Face down on the debris, he lifted it. A group of stern-faced men in suits, but one face was circled in red. A middle-aged man with cold, familiar eyes.
That man, from the company dinner, the one that made my stomach turn. Why is he marked?
Maya appeared beside him. Her gaze dropped to the photo, and for an instant, her composure cracked.
You know him. Who is he?
That photo should have been destroyed.
He was murdered, wasn't he? I remember an old news story. A corporate executive shot in an alley. This is him.
If you've pieced that together, then you understand why I can't tell you more.
Kotaro's grip tightened on the photo. The circled face was a silent accusation, dragging him toward a past he couldn't remember. Back at his battered laptop, Kotaro's fingers flew across the keyboard, the photo pinned beside the screen. Like a warrant, the search returned a single damning result. Executive shot dead in alley. Case unsolved. The article detailed the murder of a corporate vice president 2 years ago. The same man from the photo.
2 years ago, that date. I know I was at work that week, but what else?
He pulled up his work calendar from that month. Meetings, reports, and then a 3-day blank. The days surrounding the murder were missing, erased as if they had never existed.
3 whole days. Gone. Why can't I remember? I was there. I must have seen something.
Maya stepped closer, her expression unreadable. Kotaro spun the laptop toward her.
You know about this. You've known from the beginning that I was there that night, don't you?
She said nothing, but the silence was confession enough. Kotaro's hands shook, not from fear, but from the weight of a truth he could almost touch.
Stop dancing around it. The attacks, the murder, my missing memory, it's all connected, isn't it?
Yes, the threat stems directly from that night. But the full truth can only come from the client.
Then stop protecting the client. I need that truth. My life depends on it.
My duty is to protect your body, not your memory. The client's identity is not mine to share.
Damn it. I am begging you. Just a name. That's all I need.
Maya's expression remained carved from ice, even as her eyes betrayed a flicker of something deeper.
You've seen what they did. They'll kill me. Please, just tell me who hired you.
I can't. The client's anonymity is part of the contract. You'll understand when the time comes.
She's a wall. The answer is sitting right there, in her eyes, and I can't reach it.
The gulf between them yawned wider than ever. Kotaro had reached the edge of his endurance and found only silence. Silence became a decision. Kotaro grabbed his coat and slipped out before dawn, the circled photo burning in his pocket.
If Maya won't tell me, I'll confront him myself. That face in the photo. It's my boss. I am sure of it.
He used his keycard at the service entrance, the office silent as a mausoleum. Shadows clung to every corner. In the boss's office, a drawer held a folder labeled Project Gemini, Disposal. Inside, photographs of the murder scene.
These are from the alley. He didn't just know about it, he kept records. Proof of his own crime.
Footsteps echoed in the corridor, the boss returning unexpectedly. Kotaro's blood ran cold. A hand clamped over his mouth. Maya. She had followed, her eyes sharp with warning.
Don't make a sound. Take the folder and move. Now.
They slipped through the fire exit, the folder clutched to his chest. Outside, the city was still dark. He had evidence, not answers. But for the first time, a weapon to fight back, and a debt to Maya he could never repay. Evening of day 29 found Kotaro staring at the folder of evidence. Still not enough.
I'll pay double, triple if you have to. Just don't leave me tomorrow.
Money can't change the contract. My orders are absolute.
You are the only reason I am alive. Without you, I die the moment you walk out.
Tomorrow, you'll understand everything. That's all I can give you.
Understand what? That I am a forgotten witness to a murder. That's not a reason to stay.
She showed him the tablet. The countdown read 23 hours, 58 minutes, and 2 seconds. At midnight, her protection would end, and his life would be measured in hours. Kotaro sagged onto the ruined sofa, the gaping window a yawning threat. He was alone with the tick of the clock and the weight of a secret he couldn't carry. Day 30 broke in pale shades. The apartment was still wrecked, but Maya's duffels stood zipped by the door. Kotaro lunged from the sofa and spread his arms across the doorframe, blocking her exit with his own body.
You promised answers. I am not moving until you tell me the truth. Who hired you and why?
You did, Kotaro. 2 years ago, you hired me, set the deposit, wrote the instructions. You warned about the memory wipe.
That's impossible. I don't remember any of that. You are lying.
Maya reached into her vest and drew out a yellowed envelope. She held it out, her gaze steady. Scrawled across the front, in handwriting he recognized as his own, were the words, "Open if you forget."
That's my handwriting. From before. It's like a message from a dead man, from myself.
Read it. Everything you've been asking for is in there.
The envelope trembled in his hands. The truth of 30 days and 2 missing years lay within, waiting to break him or set him free. Kotaro broke the wax seal and unfolded the brittle paper. His own handwriting, 2 years old, stared back at him like a ghost. To my future self, the memory wipe worked. You witnessed a murder. Killers are still free. I hired a bodyguard. The cramped script blurred. Then the memories came. Not fragments, but a flood. 2 years ago. A motel room, lamplight. A younger Kotaro with a bandaged head, writing desperately. The alley. Rain. A gunshot. The executive falling, eyes wide, blood thinning in the gutter. He tried to go to police, but they caught him. A deal, memory erasure, or his family would die. A sterile table, a needle, his last thought, the letter, the deposit, a lifeline for the man he'd become. Kotaro's hands shook, tears fell, hot on the paper.
I did this. I paid for my own amnesia to stay alive.
But the letter also named names. He now had the roadmap and the will. The case was far from over.
You knew all of this. The killers in the letter, do you know where they are?
The letter has clues. I was only paid to guard you, not to chase them.
He scanned the cramped lines again. Names shimmered like accusations. An address, a date, a location.
Then I am hiring you again. Another 30 days. Help me find them.
The envelope was everything he had left. A lifetime of saving. Thrown down as the price of reclaiming a stolen past. Maya took it. For the first time, the iron mask cracked, not a smile, but acknowledgement.
New contract, active immediately. We move tonight.
The tablet chimed. A fresh 30-day agreement flickered to life, sealing a partnership forged in fire and fear. They stood side by side over the letter and a map. No longer protector and charge, but 2 shadows hunting the same night.
Let's finish this. Not as a victim, but as the man who ran out of time.
They hunched over the coffee table. Letter, folder, laptop. Kotaro circled addresses on the map while Maya cross-checked from memory. Maya's phone buzzed. She glanced at the screen, a single message from an unlisted number. You are still alive? Tick-tock.
They know we're not hiding anymore.
Then we move faster. Gear up.
She checked her holster, slipped extra magazines into her vest. Kotaro folded the letter and tucked it over his heart. Together, they walked toward the door. Shadows no longer, but hunters stepping into the night.
No more running. This ends with us.
The apartment behind them was a ruin, but outside, a fractured city held the answers to a sin 2 years buried. The chase had begun again. Only this time, the hunted carried the teeth. The streetlights flickered as Kotaro paused on the pavement. Looking back at the shattered window he'd called a prison for 30 long days, from his pocket, he drew the letter and a pen. With hands that no longer trembled, he scrawled 2 words across the envelope. Case reopened.
I earned this truth with blood and silence. I won't let it slip away again.
He folded the letter and tucked it into his coat, a shield over his heart. In the reflection of a rain-streaked window, Maya's silhouette coalesced beside his, silent, but no longer separate. No words, only the quiet weight of a promise sealed by fire and fear. The reflection shimmered and dissolved as the 2 figures turned and walked into the waiting night. The case was no longer cold, and neither, at last, was the man who carried it.